Hello everyone, good morning. I'm Megha working as security analyst at Deep Pharma. With me today is my colleague co-presenter Maitri Nade, who is a security developer at Deep Pharma. In today's session, we'll be discussing about exploitation and automated threat detection to modern cloud infrastructure. Next slide. Okay, so let me introduce you to Deep Armor. We are security consulting firm offering a wide range of services including VAPT, secure design, privacy assessment. Our firm has been honored with prestigious awards such as Most Scalable Startup Award, Most Innovative Cybersecurity Company Award, and many more. So, yeah, in today's agenda, we will provide an overview of application security, explore different industry standards, go beyond certain industry standards, demonstrate a practical attack for better understanding, and conclude our presentation by outlining our proof of concept and solution. Now, I'm moving on to our session. We advocate a 5-step approach for integrating security into web application development process. Step 1 includes evaluating security architecture, key attributes during program initiation. Step 2 is all about developing attack trees in design phase. Step 3, conducting security code reviews during the implementation phase. Step 4 is where we perform fuzzing, pen testing activities, red teaming activities prior to launch. And in step 5, we prepare, or it's about preparing an incident response plan during the deployment and maintenance. In addition to these steps, we emphasize on CI/CD for Scrum teams and insist on aligning our approach with industry standards like OWASP and NIST to ensure robust security measures. Okay, so web application security is crucial for web-based organization. Securing web applications involves protecting APIs, portals, consoles, cloud infrastructure, and more. These can be categorized into 3 main sections. First section consists of console, portal, and web pages. Section 2 is all about APIs, and section 3 includes cloud infrastructure. So first 2 sections, that is console, portal, web pages, and APIs, are primarily managed by developers using SDLC, that is Security Development Lifecycle. Moving forward, we'll be discussing on cloud infrastructure security, an often overlooked aspect compared to other sections managed by developers. The cloud computing has become an essential part of many businesses offering scalability, flexibility, cost saving. However, with this convenience comes the need for increased security. The cloud security shared responsibility model is a framework that outlines the security responsibilities of both cloud service providers and customers. The cloud service provider is responsible for the infra security of the cloud, while the customers are responsible for the security of their own data and application and configurations. Elaborating on the shared responsibility model, CSPs are responsible for following security measures like physical security, network security, operating system security, application security for offering SaaS offerings, and data encryption in transit. Whereas customers are responsible for following security measures for security measures like for data encryption at rest, account and access management, application security for platform and integration, compliance with laws and regulations. As we can see, various examples of cloud misconfiguration has led to data breach, which costs company millions of dollars in penalty. Okay, so let me explain the most eye-catching and most recent attack about Microsoft Azure data leak. How did it happen? Microsoft's AI research team accidentally exposed a private data while publishing a bucket of open source training on GitHub. Exposed data included data like disk backup of two employee workstation as well as passwords, private key secret, and over 30,000 internal Microsoft messages. The reason for this data breach was misconfigured SAS token, that is shared access token. The SAS token was misconfigured to share entire storage, including another 38 TB of private files. In addition to this, the token was also misconfigured to allow full permission instead of read only. Also, DPAMA's cloud infra customer had similar misconfiguration in which the port 5432 was open for attackers to access DB. So, as we saw, a lot of money as well as data is being compromised due to misconfiguration in cloud. So, to mitigate these kinds of attacks, popular industry standards have come up with set of regulations and controls that specifically address how to manage and deploy this cloud. Some such standards are SIS, SOC 2, ISO, GDPR, and HIPAA. SIS provides globally recognized benchmarks and recommendation for securing systems and cloud platform. I will now hand over this session to Maitri to demonstrate the practical attack and provide solutions to mitigate the issue.
Yeah, thank you, Meghana. So, Meghana talked a lot about how cloud security is such a big issue. So, I just want to emphasize on this fact more by giving you a small example on how your data can be compromised, even though you have kept your data in cloud and your Amazon or Azure or GCP is looking after your cloud. Say you are storing some data in your S3 bucket that is being constantly communicating with your website, and your S3 bucket is storing this data and sending data back to this website on a regular basis. Now, if this S3 bucket is poorly configured, an attacker who does not even have a AWS account can easily access the data and misuse it in various form. I'll just show a small demo on how this can happen by just bring up my video. Say there's a website that you have been assigning an S3 bucket to, upload any folders or send data such as your images that needs to be on this website. So when you inspect that page, you will be able to get S3 bucket or openly publicly accessible. Now what I did was just went through the link and access this using HTTP. It is a simple link to access S3 buckets where you can give the bucket name followed by S3 dot the region followed by the Amazon AWS.com. So now you can see that because of poorly misconfigurations, you can list out all the objects that are present in this bucket. Now I will try to access a particular file that is present here. Now, if because of this misconfigurations, I was able to download a credentials file or a CSV file that was present here. You can see that there were some username and password present here. Now, I will also try to see if I can add any object back to this bucket. I will create a similar CSV file with the same name so that I can modify or change the data present in that bucket. I will try to do a put object using CLI, and you can see that I got an response back from my CLI. That means that an object has been uploaded successfully. To verify it, I'll just download the same CSV file back. You can see that the object has been modified here. So this is because this bucket was public to internet with a lot of misconfigurations. why was this happening? What was the root cause for all of this? Was that this bucket had not enabled block public access. And moreover, just because it is not enabling public access, it doesn't mean that anyone can write to this bucket. The bucket specifically mentioned that anyone from the internet, not just a person having AWS account, can list and get objects easily using the bucket policy. So, what would be the remediation for such an misconfigured bucket? First is to make sure that you give fine grain access. You would want only your customers to have access to your S3 bucket, and making sure that to create a pre-signed URL for sharing an object or receiving an object using this is a and also to make sure that there is block public access on the bucket. Making sure all of these steps are in place will help you to reduce attacks on your bucket. Now, I just mentioned only one single issue that was present in your cloud, but this is one of the issues that we have been constantly seeing with a lot of customers of our own. And you can see that there were a huge number of open ports that compromised DB data. There were exposed databases. There were a lot of unwanted admin privileges given. So what is the solution for such an issue is making sure that you automate this whole process, making sure that you scan your cloud periodically to ensure that all your security checks are in place, to make sure that all the latest threat is covered in your cloud misconfigurations, are making sure that, and also to ensure that you provide compliance reports. And this is not about web application security, portal security, it is specifically for your cloud infrastructure. So, what is our approach is to make sure that your cloud environment is compliant, also have other security regulatory compliances that ensure that your cloud security is in place, and also to go above and beyond this security and regulatory compliances to have certain checks to make sure that your cloud is completely secure. So these checks that should be run on daily basis against your cloud to make sure that no issue reoccurs or there is no new misconfigured resource in your cloud. We go through all the sections in your cloud, that can be your identity, your storage, your monitoring, and your networking, such as your open port, security groups, etc., and provide you with a summary dashboard, a detailed report on your current scan, and also a CSV file that you can go ahead and push it to any bug tracking tool like your Jira or Jenkins. So we did this to make sure that your cloud security is compliant and secure at the same time. We have made sure to keep about 630 plus security threats and misconfigurations that we found to be important for you to have it configured properly, that gets scanned on a daily basis against your cloud. Along with this, we made sure that this tool can be automated, an agentless tool, and also we do not want to read your data as well. So to make sure that we just see only the configurations, we make sure the zero trust access, zero access to your customer data is ensured. Along with this, we make sure that, as I mentioned earlier, it works seamlessly with other tools like Jira, Slack, and GitHub. We also thought that we could add some more features to it, not just about cloud infrastructure or the code that is present in your cloud should also be secure. So to make sure that there are no exposed secrets such as your passwords or access keys are there in your code, or making sure that you are deploying the latest AMIs, the latest packages with no vulnerabilities. These are some of the features that we thought would be useful in our tool. So before I go ahead, I would like to share some screenshots. I'll just share my screen and let you know how this tool looks like in real life. So this is how Gauntlet dashboard looks like. So we made sure to give you an executive summary on how your cloud platform security posture looks like. So there will be about a lot of critical high, medium, and low issues that can be found, and we show you the total number of checks and also how compliant you are to certain compliance which your company would require. As I mentioned earlier about the 6 sections, that identity, storage, and compute, we also show an analysis on how your severities have been distributed across these sections. Along with this, we provide a vulnerability trend chart that will let you know how your security posture has been trending over the period of previous scans. As I told, we scan on daily basis. So you can see that if there has been a huge number of resources that were deployed overnight and with a lot of misconfigurations, there can be a huge spike, and you can go ahead and you would want to prioritize and fix these issues first. Along with this, we thought we can show an inventory dashboard. So this will help you know how many total resources are present in your AWS account or your Azure account, and let you know how many users are there, groups, your S3 buckets that are been using, RDS instances. And this will let you know how many are actually running. You might use only 2 RDS instances for your production, but you can see Gauntlet can scan about 5, that maybe 3 are ideally running in other regions that are not being used. So you can go ahead and delete these instances to make sure that you can also reduce your bill as well. So along with this, we provide a detailed report on how many cases have been scanned, and you would want to know what exactly is the issue here. So along with this, we provide you with some filters, such as filtering based on criticality. And if you want to know more why this case has been an issue, we provide a detailed page where we listed all the resources. In this case, that would be your public S3 buckets that are causing this issue to be a failure. We also let you know what compliances does this case is for, and also a little bit remediation on how you can go ahead and fix this bucket in your cloud. Along with this, we provide a compliance dashboards. So this will help you to know how compliant you are to any industry standard that your company would require, such as SOC 2. So your SOC 2 has about 71 checks that require for your cloud infrastructure specifically. So Gauntlet scans all these 71 checks and let you know how compliant you are regarding your cloud infrastructure. So you can see that you're 20% compliant. You can see that there are 44 issues that have not been fixed, but there are 13 that have already been fixed. So along with this, we also list out the cases that are required for this compliance. Now, for some reason, you would want a particular bucket to be public. So because that is hosting your website or something like that, we provide an option to add a few resources to an exception. So say that there is a bucket that you really want it to be public, so you can go ahead and add this as an exception as well. So from the next scan onwards, Gauntlet will skip this exception. So to see these exceptions, we also provide an exception dashboard, and this will list out all the cases and the total number of exceptions have been made and when it was made as an exception. We provide multi-cloud support and multi-account support as well to make sure that if your infrastructure is being hosted on multiple cloud, we ensure total coverage for all of it. So this was a short walkthrough on how we have built this tool. And to summarize our talk for the day, I would like to tell how we emphasized on the issue that cloud infrastructure security is often neglected part of web application security. People just look into APIs, API security, but they will not know how to secure your cloud infrastructure because most of them think that cloud infrastructure is the cloud provider's responsibility to keep it secure, but the configurations that you do there is totally on the customer's responsibility. So there is a large threat surface regarding your cloud infrastructure security. There are a lot of misconfigurations leading to $1 million loss to your companies because there are exposed data that sensitive data that can be exposed, and attackers can exploit this issue very easily. So as you can see, there are around 630 plus checks that needs to be in place in your cloud, and making sure that all of these checks are in place manually is a tedious work, and it may take week together to keep it secure. In a one audit can take you a total of week. So automation is the solution for this, to make sure that you scan your infrastructure on daily basis to make sure that someone on overnight made a port open, so the next day you will get a report that this port is open and you can go ahead and fix it. But if you fail to recognize misconfigurations on daily basis, just 2 to 3 days would be enough for an attacker to take advantage of it. So we also saw what would be the proposed solution for this, how to view the dashboard, and how giving you out a summary on total how the security posture of your cloud is good. And we also emphasized on why making sure that you also look into compliances and other industry standards is good, but making sure that you go beyond the standards to ensure security in your cloud is also equally important. So this is about our talk, and Deeparmer is a consulting firm, security consulting firm, where we do product security, cloud security solutions. We provide you demos and training. If you want to know more about this cloud infrastructure product, this cloud CSPM tool that we have been building, please contact us for more information. So if there are any doubts, we would be open to it now. Sorry, Basti, to answer your question, sorry, it just took a lot of time. So, even as a security consulting firm, we get a lot of questions. Clients who host their web applications in cloud. So, to start a career in cloud security, you would want to know how the cloud infrastructure works. Firstly, mainly look into how most of these cloud providers are offering these services, and to know what would be their weak points would be a good start. Say that how they configure and how the website is talking, so the open ports as such. So it would be good to know, like, um, to know about the specific cloud secure service provider first, and then go ahead and look into the configurations and start with your security cloud security net.